And very good evening to everyone present here. Can I have some cameras, please? It's good to interact with faces. Thank you so much. Good evening. Hi, Pratibha.
Good evening.
Hi, Ashni.
Good to see you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So today's session is on one topic that no matter who you go to, a counselor, a psychotherapist, a psychiatrist, every person, when you go in for therapy or counseling, will tell you, you have to start journaling. Okay. This is the first thing they're going to tell you. Do you journal? But nobody tells you how to journal. So every person who comes usually asks, what do I write? What do I even do with the journal? So this particular talk is to give you more clarity on what journaling is. So how you can use journaling as a tool for well-being. It's not just for dealing with the negatives, it's also for growth. It's also for learning. Okay. So today we're going to be dealing with this topic. And I want it to be interactive. Otherwise, the purpose fails. So please be interactive, everybody. And we'll keep it as interesting and as peppy as possible. Of course, I can feel quite a lot of you are here. I can sense that we'll have a lot of good energy. Okay, so we begin. I'll start with my presentation.
Yes.
Okay. Visible?
Yeah, visible.
Okay. So first thing we're going to do is try and understand what is a diary writing and what is a journal. So how many of us have written a diary when we were young or even maybe nowadays? Okay. Quite a few of them have a practice of diary writing, no? Can we have a show of hands? Wonderful. Okay. So we usually do this in childhood when we want to, keep something secret and we don't want to tell it to anybody. So what is the difference between a diary and a journal? Anyone wants to say? Any guesses? You can unmute yourself. Yeah? Anybody?
Diary is what is happening in the whole day.
Very
But
true, ma'am.
journaling it's what we experience from it or what we feel from it.
Wonderful, wonderful. So journaling gives you more clarity on what is going on in your life. It's more of self-reflection. It's more of self-awareness. It's also about problem solving. It's also about moving ahead, growing, learning from the experience. That is the difference between a diary writing and a journal writing. And today, let's begin by starting one short process. This is a very short activity. I'll just give you 5 seconds. No thinking much. Just write down how was the entire day, if you had to put it down in one word. Okay, how am I feeling today? Just put it down in one word in the chat. Just one word. Everyone? Done? Just one word. Okay. So let's read. What are the things that we have here?
Little working and a good learning.
Okay. I'm unable to see the chat.
The chat is one Mary Seema ma'am written happy.
Okay.
So we can't see the chat because it says chat disabled.
No, chat is available.
When I am unable to see, neither can I type.
Yes, sir. Chat is unable. Disabled group chats. Message is coming, sir.
No, I am receiving. No, everyone is getting. Otherwise, you can mention. I can read. Mukesh sir
Yes, sir.
mentioned this.
Now it's okay.
No.
Now it's fine. I changed the setting. Now it's okay, right? Okay. So everyone can just put in a word on how has the day been so far. Relax. Okay. Can we have few more?
Nice,
Nice.
relax.
Okay. Well spent day. Relax. Happy. Wonderful. Happy. Okay. Wonderful. Very busy. Mukesh. Okay. Superb. Shrija. Dr. Shrija. Wonderful.
Cameraman returns sick and tired.
Happens. We have those days. Those days are always there. Okay. So why do we even have to journal? Why do we journal? Why do you think we journal? Can we have 1 point per person? Why do we journal? Just tell out.
To see where our emotions are going.
Wonderful. Okay. More points? Why else do we journal?
To
How
keep
we feel at which time we are happy and which so that
Wonderful.
we know
To track our
ourselves.
emotions. Very good.
to keep a log of our activities or our moods.
Absolutely. Goal setting. Okay.
Things that you don't want to express out to somebody, you're putting it out of your body or you're putting it out of your system.
Wonderful. So it's more of, let's say, emotional regulation and self-reflection.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Wonderful. Okay. What other reasons are there? Why do we even journal? Okay. So normally we
So
journal.
that, sorry, can I say?
Hanji?
Yeah, so that we can catch on our negative thoughts.
Yes, we do that. Self-awareness. Okay. So let me give you a few more pointers. So when we are thinking of journaling, is it a safe space for me to write down? Many a times what happens is if I'm sharing the same thoughts, emotions, feelings, desires, hopes, fears with someone, even if that person is close, are you sure it is 100% safe space? You're not sure all the time, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Of course, if you go to a professional, then it is confidentiality is assured. But what about if you're sharing it with a relative, with a friend? Okay. So journal becomes your very safe space where you can write down what you're thinking, what you're feeling, what is going on, what you're experiencing in your life. Also, what happens when you start writing over a period of time, you're also tracking your progress, just like somebody mentioned. You're tracking what is happening in your life. So maybe after 6 months, when I look back on today, I realize, oh, I've come a long way. We don't realize it. See, whatever mistakes or whatever improvement or progress we have done is only when we reflect in retrospect, right? Otherwise, it's not possible. So journal gives you that avenue to retrospect, to reflect, self-reflection. Okay. It also tells us about our patterns. So most of the times we don't even realize that we are repeating certain things again and again in our life. It can be we know what we are doing, or sometimes it happens unknowingly. So when you keep a record, you know that there is a pattern that is repeating and you know how to actually break that pattern. You can try breaking it. It helps you there. Does it help you understand yourself? Yes, it does. It also helps you understand how you can take care of yourself. So when we are talking about self-love, we are talking about caring for the self, right? So this is what will help you. Does journaling help you with being more mindful? Do you think it does? Because you're being more aware of your thoughts. So what happens is we have a monkey mind. We all do, right? So when we have a monkey mind, there are a zillion thoughts that are running around in our mind. But when we try jotting it down on pen and paper, is it practically possible for you to jot down all of those million thoughts? It's not possible. So what comes down is very consolidated. It's a single thought probably out of all of those haywire thoughts, like our Bescom cables in Bangalore, or electricity wires that are running around everywhere in the cities, like those spider webs. But when it gets consolidated, what happens? It becomes a single thought you're writing down. That is how it helps you gain more clarity. Does it help you with creativity? It does, because you can use it to get newer ideas. You can use it to problem solve. You can also use it to de-stress. Yeah. So when you're going through a difficult time, you can use the journal as a vent out. You can do that. You can use it to problem solve. If there is something that you don't know how you should deal with it, then you can actually do an exercise. There are different skills that we'll be using this today. There are a lot of tools that I'll be giving you today. And also, there is a small offer that I'm giving you at the end of this particular webinar. So there is a link I'll provide for a free journal which you can use. Okay. And what else can we use journaling for? Anyone wants to say? Yeah. See, we in counseling, we in therapy usually use journaling for tracking growth, for progress. We use it as a learning process. Okay. We also use it to establish certain boundaries in an individual. Many times what happens is, how many of us women don't know how to say no? If someone asks you for help, or if there is someone who needs a work done, are you able to say no very easily? Or do you hold yourself back and bend your back backwards, break it in the process of helping out other people at your cost? We tend to do that, right? So it also helps you gain clarity on where you're going wrong and how to rectify it. It also improves your vocabulary. When you're writing every day, it's also improving your writing skills, right? And we use something called as a habit tracker in a journal. So it helps you maintain a habit, maybe begin a new habit, and maybe even end a habit that is not helping you in any way. So these are the uses for a journal. And before we even begin with the talk, I want us all to do one particular exercise. Are we all ready to do this? Can we do that? So let's take out just 2 minutes of our time and do this, the most important exercise that you will probably do today. It's called the Wheel of Life. Okay. So this is one of the things that usually in corporates, they do this as an initial, when they're doing these counseling activities, or when they're doing some kind of a seminar on mental or emotional well-being. This is one of the tools that they use. So there is a mandala you can see. There are concentric circles. There is a center point in the circle, and it's been divided into different dimensions or different domains. Or maybe it's like a pizza and there are different slices of the pizza. So now each of these areas are marked with a particular name. If you can see, there is personal growth and learning. Can you see that? There is friends and family. There is relationship. There is health and fitness. There are friends. There is finances. So there are different areas that you want to focus on. See, I'll just magnify this a bit, so you'll be able to see this. Yeah. Can you see this? Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Is it visible?
Yes,
Okay.
Yeah.
we'll be able to see.
So what we're going to do is, I want us all to take a minute and assess where we stand today in our life. Aaj ke date mein, today, where do we stand in our life? as far as personal growth and learning goes. So what you do is you can just shade or color, give yourself a score between 0 and 10. 0 being the negligible, hardly anything. I mean, I'm really pathetic at this particular domain of my life. I'm hopeless. There is nothing that I can actually fathom in this particular domain. So it goes to the 0. Okay. And 10 being, it's wonderful. In this particular domain, my life is absolutely jingalala. Okay. So where do I stand in each of these domains between 0 and 10, 0 being hopeless to 10 being absolutely wonderful? So the domains are, first is personal growth and learning. Can we all have a mark for this? Yeah. Give yourself a score. Next is spiritual. Where do you stand between 0 and 10? Third is business and career. Give yourself a score between 0 and 10. Where do you stand? Don't analyze too much. Whatever comes to mind, a score that comes to your mind immediately. Our mind knows. Health and fitness. Where do I stand? As far as my health and fitness goes, between 0 and 10. Finances. Where do I stand? Today, at this moment. Fun and recreation. Relationships. Friends and family. All of us have a score. Today is the 14th of September 2025. This is where you stand in all domains of your life. So now, out of all of these categories, if you had to prioritize one as the most important one, out of personal growth and learning, spirituality, business and career, finances, health and fitness, fun and recreation, relationships, friends and family, out of all these domains, if you had to prioritize what is most important to you today, what would it be? Write a 1 next to it. Next to that, you can just write, this is my first priority. Maybe in that first priority, your score is 0. Possible, right? Maybe it is a priority for you, but you're not doing anything about it. Your life is like total bhangar in that area. Possible, right? Though it is your priority. Now, which is your next priority? Priority number 2. Out of all of these fields. Priority number 3. Prioritize all of these domains. Now you have your score on where you stand today. And you also have a priority list of what is more important for you. Of course, they're not going to align. Now that you have a priority list, you have a very clear picture now mentally on, am I working on my priority or not? Yes. How many of us are working on our priorities? 100%. Yeah. Can we have a show of hands? Wonderful, Pratibha. Swarnalata, yes. Wonderful.
And Kanu.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, so this tells us what we need to do. Did you understand now what's more important for you in your life today? So promise yourself that you're going to work on these domains of your life. And journaling is one tool that can help you do this. So can we proceed now? Okay. So one of the most common techniques that we use for journaling is automatic writing. or venting or trauma journaling. So what do we do is this, alana falana dhimkana, whatever happened from morning, this happened, he told me this, I said this happened, all of that you will write in your journal, right? This is called as auto writing or non-stop writing. It's venting basically. So whatever thoughts are coming in, you're just putting it down on paper. Okay. So you're just going to not focus on how you're going to verbalize it, how you're going to, what kind of vocabulary you're using, what kind of writing, whether you're using a doctor's writing or whether you're using a normal, beautiful handwriting, Lucida, whatever. So you're just going to put down on paper whatever thoughts are there in your mind. So this is called as auto writing. Okay. So when you're jotting down whatever is there in your mind, what happens is it becomes what we call as the brain dump. Many a times, whatever is, it's like a hangover which is there in your mind, it gets released. You feel a lot better once you put things down on paper. Try it. Okay. So what exercise you can do is for today or maybe one of the days, there are different tools I'll give you. This tool, what you can do is for next 10 minutes, you can just start writing down how was my day today. There are going to be positives and there are going to be negatives, not so good parts and the very bad parts and the very good parts. Like we had the first question when we asked, how was the day today? You had to describe it in one word. A few people had a wonderful day. And there are a few who were like totally busy and drained out and feeling totally hopeless. So we all have our times, right? We all have those days. So maybe if you start jotting them down, it gives you a release. It helps you understand yourself better. It also helps you emotionally regulate. Okay. Another thing you can do, most commonly used form of journaling is for anxiety. If anyone has been to a counselor for issues of anxiety or depression or any of those issues, usually the counselor will tell you to maintain a journal. Okay. So how can you use this journaling? Now, what you can do is, okay, how many of us know what is a trigger or a stressor? What causes stress? Does anyone want to explain what is stress?
The gap between expectation and the reality.
Beautiful, sir.
Something which doesn't go according to our wish.
Okay, correct. I was hoping maybe someone will say wife or husband or mother-in-law. Nobody is telling anything. Okay, we have a very decent crowd today. So what is a stressor basically? See, what happens is many a times we have this acronym called the UDIN. I usually explain this to my clients also. So U in the UDIN, U stands for something that is unexpected. Okay. So when something that is totally unexpected happens. Second is D. D is for dramatic. So dramatic is when you feel that you're standing on a stage, you're in the middle of a drama, and it feels like you're playing a role there, but you have absolutely no idea what you're supposed to do. You're lost. So it's unexpected, it's dramatic. I stands for isolating. So you feel that even though you have a lot of people around you, you're all alone. There's no one there with you. There's no one there to hold your hand, to help you out from that situation. Okay, isolating. And N is no plan. No idea what I'm supposed to do in this situation. So whenever this happens, when something like a UDIN is a trigger or a stressor that happens, then what happens is our brain, amygdala of the brain, which is, we call it as the reptilian brain, which is deep inside our brain. It controls our emotions. It goes into what we call as the 4F mode. There is fear, there is flight, there is fight, there is freeze, and there is fawn. Okay. So what happens is the brain is scared now. Fear is because of uncertainty. I don't know what's going to happen, what I'm supposed to do. So the fear is like the first gear of your car. फर्स्ट गियर के बाद सेकेंड गियर डालना पड़ेगा ना. So now that is your fight. So if you are stronger than the situation, you will stand and fight. Always. But what if you are not stronger than the situation? You will run away. You will flight. You will escape from there. What if you are in no position to either fight or run away from there? Flight. Then you freeze. You behave like you're dead, as if you're numb, as if nothing is going to happen. Usually children get into this mode, especially children who have gone through a lot of abuse, very traumatic situations. They go into a freeze mode. And the fourth mode is called the fawn mode. Fawning is when you bend your back to please the others. You go out of the way to make things comfortable for the other person at your own cost. So this is the normal sequence of how we react. So those can be our coping skills. Okay, how we cope with it, whether we face it, whether we run away from it. So if a person is overworking, they're running away from it. If a person is shopping, scrolling endlessly, they're trying to run away from reality, right? So there are different behavior patterns, different coping skills that we have. You can analyze what your coping skill is if you start jotting down what you did when a particular situation happened. So this happened. Okay, so maybe somebody had a fight with me, and then what did I do? And you see that pattern over a period of time, and that will help you change that pattern. You become more aware that this was happening. So now you have that particular, all you need is a skill set. Now you know that you have a pattern. You have an intention of changing it. Once you get that skill set, now you're in a newer position. That's how journaling can help you. Okay. So last is your action plan. So what are you going to do about it? You can jot that also down. Okay. Anyone has seen this? This is called as the feeling wheel. You'll find this on Google also. So can we have one person, anyone, just looking at this wheel, tell me the emotion that the most dominant emotion that you've experienced today. Aaj ke date pe. The outermost circle. Any volunteer? Just one emotion. You can unmute yourself and you can say, this is what I felt today. And this was dominant for me today. Yeah, someone?
Peaceful. Peaceful.
Okay. So what is the second circle from peaceful? So you have
Maybe
the one which was peaceful equates to
it's to
in the circle. In the circle.
fear.
Mhm.
That's how it. Peaceful. We have to go to the next same or
No, no,
some
no,
other
no.
next.
The outermost. Check the outermost.
Out.
Outermost
Yeah.
circle. The circumference of the
Yeah.
circle.
Yeah.
The outermost, Pratibha?
Outermost. Enthusiastic.
Okay.
Okay.
Enthusiastic then goes into,
Happy.
okay. So you
Okay.
understood, see, why are we doing this? Most of the times, we are not even aware of our emotions. Many a times you would have noticed, women, what do we do? When we get angry, we cry, right? And what do the men usually do? When they're sad, they rage. They get angry. So first of all, we do not know how to identify or acknowledge our emotions. We're not aware of our emotions only most of the times. We just know something is happening. We either rage out, we either start crying, we feel depressed, we feel jealous, we feel guilty, we feel fear. All of those emotions that we experience, there are more than 66,000 emotions that we experience. Are we aware of them? We only know happy, sad, angry. But do you know how to identify this emotion? An emotional vocabulary is very important if you want to help deal with the emotion. If you don't know the emotional vocabulary, how are you going to deal with it? Like, I'm also a doctor, allopathic. So if a patient comes to me, if I'm not able to diagnose what the patient is suffering with, how can I even give the medicine or help the patient? The diagnosis is the most important part. Identification is what is required. So your feeling wheel is going to help you learn to identify what emotion you're experiencing at any point of time and where that leads you to. Say, for example, if I'm feeling very bewildered in the gray zone, then it comes under curious and that comes under surprise. So the actual emotion, core emotion was surprise. But in surprise, what am I feeling? I'm feeling bewildered. So that helps you identify and have an emotional vocabulary that will help you deal with it, emotionally regulate yourself. So exercise for today, what you can do is pick any 3 emotions that you have felt today and you can write or auto write for the next 10 minutes about that particular emotion. Okay, this is another tool that you can use. Many a times you're not able to write about your emotions because it's very confusing. And there are many secondary emotions that overlap. For example, anger. Anger is a secondary emotion. Anger doesn't come, it's not a standalone, it just doesn't come in. It comes when something else was there. Children, when they're hungry, they'll get angry, they'll get cranky. Yeah. So when you're sad, also you get angry. When you're scared, you get angry. Right? So anger is a secondary emotion. Similarly, there are a lot of emotions like that. Many a times, children or people who are experiencing multiple emotions can't even express. Then what do? So you are not able to write it down. You can at least draw it. It can be a stick figure. You can just put around, you can put 2 dots as eyes, like how we did when we were children. And smiley faces, cranky faces. That helps. Pour your emotions or feelings onto paper. So sometimes when there are no words, you can actually express them through creativity, through drawing, if you can't do auto writing, and it's fine. And when you're doing this, how a journal helps us when you have an emotion. Let's say today I have an emotion of feeling jealous. Okay. So if it is a jealousy that I'm experiencing, ask myself whether it is positive or is negative. The first question is it a positive emotion? Is it a negative emotion? Many a times, anger can be a very positive emotion. It can help you in life. Anger is a beautiful emotion, right? So is it positive? Is it negative in that context? Next, what is the intensity of this emotion? How intensely am I feeling it? So if you have to scale yourself between -10 and +10, 0 in between, like a graph, -10 being absolutely horrible and +10 being absolutely wonderful. Where is this emotion? How intensely am I feeling this? What is the intensity? We call this the SUD, subjective unit of distress. That's a technical terminology, but this gives you a very clear picture on where that emotion is for you. Next question, is this emotion mine or is this somebody else's I've taken on? Many a times we tend to borrow others' emotions. My son is angry, I'm also angry. My husband came back home irritated, now I'm also irritated. I'll take it out on my kids. It wasn't mine. Do I have to go and take it? Do I have to own it? Big question. Where do I feel this in my body? Body awareness will actually help us identify what is going wrong in our body also. Because most of the ailments are psychosomatic. Okay? So ask yourself, there is always a somatic address for every emotion that you experience. Emotions, emotions are energy in motion. So where are you feeling it in your body? So for those of us who experience migraines, headaches, this is where you're storing it. For those of us who have thyroid issues, You're storing it here. Cervical issues, lower back, upper back. This is to do with emotional support. Where are you storing it? What is the somatic address? Email bhi jana hai. Even if I have to send an email, it needs an address. If I have to put a postcard, it needs an address. Similarly, every emotion has an address. What is your somatic address? Identify it. Maybe take a couple of moments, close your eyes, and think about where do I feel this emotion most intensely. That will help you get your somatic address. If this emotion had a color, it had a texture, it had a shape and a vibration, what would it be? If the emotion had a color, what color would it be? What shade would it be? Okay. What shape would it be? How big would it be? How small would it be? How would it vibrate? What direction would it have? What location would it have around me? That gives you a perfect address. What texture does it have? So you do all of this, then you go to the next step of dealing with that emotion. Okay. So I hope this helped.
Yes.
Many a times, over a period of time, we experience similar emotions. It's like saying, "Aaj ka weather kaisa hai?" to "What is the climate of this place?" So this is the climate picture for your feelings or your moods. So today, say on 1st of January, what did I feel? You will be marking it here. Similarly, today is September. So you'll go to S, September 14th. How was the day today? You will be marking it. Maybe have different colors according to your choice. So when you fill this calendar over a period of time, you'll realize what predominates, which feeling or what kind of mood is predominating your life. So once you do this exercise, you'll understand where I need to work on. Okay, so this is called as a mood tracker. And there's a somatic address, I told you. There are different areas where we store emotions. And we have this practice called as the progressive muscle relaxation, where we try and help you understand where is it that you're feeling any firmness, any stiffness, any discomfort, any pain, any strain in any part of your body. Where you're feeling at, let's say, unease in your body, dis-ease. Dis-ease is when you're not feeling at ease with any part of your body. Na? If you have to split the word. So it gives you a very clear picture. So body awareness is what it can help you with. Journaling helps you here. This is one of the most important tools I think everybody should have. And you should do this every month or at least once in 6 months to update your monthly habits also. So maybe there is a habit that I want to enforce, or maybe there is a habit that I want to break. Okay. So I write down my habit, or whatever habit I need or I don't need has to be a very specific goal for me. So I'm going to write down, say I want to wake up at 4 in the morning. Okay. So first point is I wake up at 4 in the morning. And then I start coloring from 1st of the month till the 31st of that month and see, am I actually following through? Commitment hai ya aise hi hawa hai? Because many a times we say, 1st of January, I'll go to the gym. You go for 15 days and then you're done. Ho gaya. Even if the gym wala comes and opens a gym in your house, you're not going to be lifting weights. So this is what happens. So are you committed to your goal? Your habit tracker is going to tell you. So there are monthly goals, monthly habits. There are weekly habits that you need to do. And there are daily habits which you can practice. Maybe there's something that I want to stop doing. Maybe there's someone who wants to quit smoking. Maybe there's someone who wants to reduce their screen time. Yeah, this is more addictive than anything else. No. Insta reels. Endless reels. It doesn't end also. You can go on watching for the rest of your life. So maybe you want to limit your time. So that can also be a habit that you want to enforce. Okay. You can use your journal to track your goals. So you will divide your goals into short-term goals, long-term goals, and one main goal that you want to achieve in life. Okay. There's something that you want to desperately do for yourself in your life. There's something that maybe I want to do for the next 1 to 3 months. And there's something that I want to do for the year. We also do something called as a vision board for the entire year. So you can actually divide your goals into those categories and you can start doing. So whenever a person comes to me, a client comes to me for the first time, I usually ask them, how desperate are you for a change in your life? People usually come with a problem, right? This is so miserable in my life. This is what is happening, or this is what is not happening. First question is, how desperate are you for change? And how much of effort are you ready to put in for this? Give me a proper scale between 0 and 100. Okay. So for those of them who tell me 60%, 70%, then I ask them, how much are you expecting from me as the therapist? You know how much they'll expect from me? Any guesses?
100%.
100%.
Oh.
Like as a spoon feeding.
So what
200%.
is, they come into therapy and automatically, everything gets transformed. Just life becomes jingalala just by seeing me or meeting me. Okay. So it's not going to happen like that. You need to be committed for your change because it's your life. Yeah. So how do you even find out you're committed to your life? First of all, have a goal. Do you have a goal in your life? Write it down. What is your goal? How will you even know you have achieved your goal? So there was someone who came and told me, I want to look beautiful. Okay, that's a goal. But is it specific? How will you know you're beautiful? What are the parameters for beauty? There was one lady, she told me that, I'm not a beautiful person. I said, tell me the definition of beautiful. She said, when they look very attractive, when they're fair and they have long hair. And she gave me a good description of what a beautiful girl is. Okay. And I asked her, so if this is what beautiful is, and if her behavior is not good, would she still be beautiful for you? She said, no. Then what is beauty? Beauty is how you make the other person feel in your presence. Do you agree? If there's someone who's feeling uncomfortable, not happy with you, I don't think you're a beautiful person. If there's someone, a total stranger probably, who comes, sits with you and feels at home with you, feels safe with you, you're the most beautiful person that person would have ever met. Right? So can we all be those beautiful people, safe people? Can we at least put in an effort? Beautiful, nice. So you need to know how you're going to achieve that goal. Your goal needs to be very smart. We call them SMART goals. So the acronym SMART stands for specific. It needs to be very specific. Okay. Say for example, I want to get a 90 plus in my exam. I'm not saying 100. Why? Because it's not realistic. Yeah. It's not achievable. I know my capability. I know I'm not a 100 out of 100 student. If I tell 100, is it even possible? It's like a joke, na? It's not possible. So I'll say, okay, I get 80, maybe 90. Okay. So it is very achievable. It is very specific because I'm mentioning that I have to get 90. I'm measuring it. Okay. It is time bound because my test is coming up. It's coming up in 1 month. Okay. In the next month's unit test or midterm exam or whatever, I have to achieve this much out of my exams. Okay. So that said, is it relevant? Yes, it is. Is it achievable? Yes, it is. Is it measurable? Yes. Is it specific? Yes. It is time bound. Now, what action am I taking for it? That I'll have to write down. What am I doing? I just can't say I want to get 90 in my exams and not study at all. That's not right, right? So that I shouldn't be doing. So what are the things that are going to help me achieve this goal? Okay. Why is this goal even important for me? So if you don't write down why this goal is important for you, you won't have those reasons. You will not be able to make that change. I want to quit smoking, but why? Why is it important for you? Give me 10, 20 reasons why you want to quit it. That is how you condition your subconscious mind. And you write it down. When you write it down, it becomes more concrete. Okay. Now, what are the obstacles that are going to happen? I have to quit smoking. I know that I have to quit smoking. In my, say, I quit, now I'm doing 1 pack of cigarettes per day. In the next 1 week, I want to go down to maybe 3 in a day. In the next 1 week. Maybe, and then for the next 1 week, I'm going to go down to 2 in a day. And then I'm going to reduce it to 1. And then by the end of one or 2 months, I'm going to quit it. That becomes very measurable. Now, but why am I going to do this? Give me 20 reasons. That will reinforce the habit. And what are the obstacles I'm going to face? Maybe some friend will say, "Ye le, have a puff, na, kuch nahi hota." Or maybe I'm getting totally stressed during the day. What tension in, and I just need that release. Possible. Okay. What are the obstacles and how I plan to deal with each of these obstacles? How am I going to deal with them? Once I achieve my goal, how is my life going to change? What is going to be different about my life? This is a visualization technique. So what are my next steps? This is for goal setting. We all have these goals. We all have what we call bucket list, right? Have you ever tried what is called as an anti-bucket list? Yeah? Anybody has done an anti-bucket list? What is an anti-bucket list? Yeah? Anyone?
It's a last wish. Last wishes to be fulfilled.
Huh?
What about then anti means we
Huh?
should, is it a list we should complete?
Huh? So anti-bucket list is something that I never want to do again, no matter what happens. There are many things we don't want to do. There was someone who told me, I am never going to trust anybody ever again in my life. I'll never help that person in my life. I'll never give money to this person. I'll never do this. Yeah. So we all should have an anti-bucket list. There are things that we don't want to be doing. Na? So put it down in your anti-bucket list. Okay. Visible?
Yes.
Okay. So there's a small exercise we'll do right now. And this is something that I teach everyone who comes in for therapy or counseling to me. So are we all seated? We're all seated? Yeah. Please take support from wherever you're resting. And you can probably keep your feet flat on the floor. Okay. Take some back support. And just focus on your breath. Okay. You can keep your eyes open. You can keep your eyes closed. Hardly matters. I want you to just focus on your breath, the inhale, the exhale, and the pause. Okay. So now when you're inhaling, I want you to just visualize or imagine that you're taking in all the positive energy from around you. Inhaling through your nose, mentally counting to 4. Pause, mentally count to 2. And exhale from your mouth as if you're blowing on your birthday candle. But when you're exhaling, let your exhale be very deep. So you can count mentally to 7 when you are exhaling from your mouth. Inhaling, mentally counting to 4. Pausing, mentally counting to 2. And exhaling, mentally counting to 7. This is called as a 4 to 7 technique. Okay. This will help ground you and also relax your body. Please be aware, the formula is longer inhales will make your brain more active. You'll be more focused. If you want to study, if you want to engage in an activity, let your inhales be longer. And if you want your body to relax, if you want to sleep, if you want your body to relax, calm down, stay at peace, then let your exhales be longer. Okay. The breath is one thing that connects our conscious, our subconscious, and our unconscious minds. We breathe consciously. We do, right? Now, when I was telling you to breathe in 1, 2, 3, 4, you were consciously breathing. We also breathe subconsciously. All of us have been breathing. Has anybody stopped breathing right now when after we started the lecture? No. All of us are breathing. But were you aware that you were breathing? You were not aware of it. It was happening, right? We also breathe involuntarily. We're not even aware of it, right? It's a bodily function, no? Like any other function, like circulatory function, reproductive function, respiratory function, nervous system, all of these are functioning, no? So this is one thing that connects all three of it. And do you agree that breath is one thing where you can differentiate the energy? Say, supposing you go to a hospital or a jail, the kind of breath, the kind of energy you feel will be different. When you go to nature, when you go to the top of a mountain, when you're in your happy place, how do you feel when you're breathing? You feel more relaxed, right? You can also sense the energy with the breath. So breath is not just an exchange of gases, like how we have studied in science. Breathing is an exchange of gases. We take in oxygen, we give out carbon dioxide. We have taught our children. We have taught all our children, right? All of us have taught. But breathing is prana. Prana is life force. It is energy. Okay. There was one person, an Aghori, I have seen, I met when I had gone to Kashi. This is a person who has not had food since the past 16 or 17 years, is surviving just on breath. Life force. I met another person who lifted his hand up and he's not put his hand down since I don't know how many years. Okay. So, energy. Next, what can we use journaling for? We can use it for affirmations. We can also use it for bringing in positivity in our life. So this is one exercise that we usually do. I am. Can we do this? All of us? Yeah. Just say I am and write down 5 things that you are. It can be anything. Anything. I am. How do you identify yourself? Okay. I am. How do you relate to yourself as a person, as an individual, as a human? We all have different things we relate to. No? I am. I have. Write 2 or 3 things that you have. What do you have? I have. And lastly, write down I can. Filling the blanks. I can. This tells you your potential. I have tells you your resources. Okay. So you can fill anything. I have filled a few words here. Beautiful, powerful, confident, strong, unique, kind, loving, loved, enough, confident, honest, capable. Anything. So now that you look back at what you have, what you are, and what you can, is it positive, is it negative? Where do you need to work on? Ask yourself. Okay. The next exercise that you can do in a journal, and the most important possibly, is to differentiate yourself from others. Okay, this is a boundary exercise. So you tell yourself that this is me, the innermost circle. This is my zone of influence. These are the people that I can influence or who can influence me. I'm not going to put everybody in that zone. Na? I'm going to have my own safe circle. So who are the people in this immediate zone? People who you love and who are there, your nearest and dearest ones. People who like you probably are in the outer circle. And the last ones are those that care about me. Now here, I don't know how many of you have heard this. There's this beautiful YouTube talk on energy vampires by a person, a monk called Dandapani. Has anybody heard him? It's beautiful. You can watch. Okay. So he is very specific when he talks about energy. So what he says is, energy, though replenishable, is very definite. Say, supposing this is my energy for today. One bottle of energy I have when I wake up in the morning. Okay. So how I'm going to spend this energy is totally dependent on me. I decide, I choose how I'm going to spend this energy. So maybe I'm going to pour that entire bottle on someone who doesn't care about me. Okay. Or maybe I choose to just pour 1 spoon here, 1 cup here, 1 drop here. So this is how I choose to spend my energy, because this is mine. It's not anybody else's. I choose how I'm going to do this. So do I choose to pour my entire energy on a person who's not worth it, who doesn't care about me? And then what happens to me the rest of the day? I'm drained. Tell now, anybody, they'll ask, Kaisa hai? Are kya bataun? There are people who will tell you, na, how are you? And then they'll go into a detailed account of how miserable their life is. Yeah. Okay. So avoid pouring your energy into those people. Conserve your energy. It's very limited. Only pour where it is needed, where, it actually gives you returns. That tells you where your boundaries are. And this traffic lights, why did I put it there? I don't know, whoever has come to me would know this exercise. This is very important exercise, which I teach everybody. We all have seen the traffic lights, no? Which are the 3 colors in the traffic lights? Red?
Yellow and green.
Correct.
Red.
Correct. So always imagine or visualize whenever you're in a situation, whether it is, very negative or it is negative, whether it is a person, whether it is a situation, whatever it is, just close your eyes for a moment and consider concentric circles, 3 concentric circles. You're in the middle. The centermost circle is a green circle where you stand. This is you. The next zone is your orange or yellow circle. Okay, this is a 50-50 chance. It's like that 50-50 biscuit, Parle-G or some, there's that 50-50 biscuit now. Thoda khatta, thoda meeta types. So these people, the situation can turn, it can come into your zone. But if you put in more effort, it will come here. But if you don't, it might go there. Okay. The last zone is a red zone. This is something that is not going to change. No matter how much you go and hit your head on the wall, it's not going to change. This is a person who is not going to change. This is a situation that will never change, no matter what you do. Now, where will you pour your energy? In the green zone, yellow zone, or red zone? Now, just for a second, think of one difficult or one person whom you find challenging. Okay? This person is challenging for you. So just close your eyes, visualize this person, and ask yourself, tell me which color this person stands in. Is it green? Is it red? Or is it yellow? If this person is in the red, you know exactly what you need to do. Distance. Save yourself. Okay? That is called self-compassion. If you're in the yellow zone, you can at least try until you feel that there's no point. But if this person is in the green, wonderful. Okay. So you can do this exercise in your journal also. There is something called as strength finder. Why do we need this? We do what is called as the we find out strengths and weaknesses. Okay. So when you know, there's this exercise I usually tell people to write down. Ki, what are my negatives? Okay. I usually go to school as a counselor. There's Sri Chaitanya schools where they usually call me for talks and, to conduct sessions. So when I go there, I usually ask the children to write down class 9, class 10. Tell me, make a list of all your negatives. They'll fill up at least 1 or 2 pages. They'll say, what are the things that are negative about them? 1, 2, 3, 4. I tell them, write 25. Pakka. You give them 25 minutes, they're going to write at least 50. They have got a lot of points. When you ask them to write what is positive about you, they'll be looking at each other's faces. They'll write 1 or 2 things and then they'll look at each other and they're lost. This is our generation, Abhival. They have absolutely no idea what their strengths are, what they're good at. Because of the constant criticism, constant putting down. Everyone is very judgmental, very critical. We have social media. We have parents. We have teachers. We have this entire world showing them what is negative with them. But there's no one who's going to tell them what is positive about them. So from where will they learn? Right? So you need to ask yourself, what are my positives? This again requires self-reflection, and journaling is a beautiful tool that can help you. Also, there is a BIA classification. There is a website only where you can go, you can make, there is a survey, there's a proper assessment that is there, self-report. You can fill in and you will get your specific strengths. In case someone is going to give their interviews, interview mein hamesha puchenge, what are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? They're going to ask you in every interview. So you need to be aware of yourself, of your positives and negatives. Okay. So this is something that you can do with your journal. Affirmations. Anyone has tried affirmations? Can we have a show of hands? Anyone has tried affirmations? What are affirmations? Affirmations are when we are telling positive things about ourselves, So many a times, I'll tell you my own experience when I started doing my affirmations. They felt ridiculous. I didn't align with them. For the first time, when I am also an EFT trainer. EFT is emotional freedom technique. So I did my master's in EFT. When I did that, initially when I started learning EFT, and we have this something called as a setup statement where we say, I love myself. In spite of this, I love myself. I couldn't say that. It didn't resonate with me. Sad, no? This was, I think, 6, 7 years, 8 years ago. We all struggle with things in our life, na? Say, for example, if I have to tell these statements that are available here on the screen, I am loved, I am helpful, I always do my best, I can make good choices, I believe in myself, I reach for the stars, my ideas are unique, I am courageous, I can do hard things, I am strong. How many of these do you align with? You resonate with? That's why I said, even when we're making goals, okay? Even when we are doing these affirmation statements, we need to always have a because. Okay? When you give a because, at least 3 to 4 reasons because at the end of these statements, you're validating those affirmations. Otherwise, it's just talk. It's empty talk. Okay? I hope this helped. Always give reasons. Okay? and try telling affirmation. Make your own list of affirmations. So there was someone who was telling me that I'm doing my 369 affirmation. So you write it 3 times, 6 times, 9 times. There's a affirmation manifestation technique. So 369 technique, and I'm going to manifest so much of money. I'm going to talk affirmations about manifesting money. Why is it going to work for you? What action are you taking? Why is this even happening in your life? Do you know why it is happening? Automatically, maybe by tukka something happens. But then you need to have a proper plan. You need to know, understand yourself whether this is going to work. It's supposed to be realistic when you're doing affirmations. Tell yourself why. And otherwise, in EFT, what we usually do is, if I can't say I love myself, I usually say I'm learning how to love myself. I will choose to love myself. You can change your statement, right? Affirmations will only work if your subconscious agrees with it. Only then your life will change. Okay. Next thing that we use it for. Gratitude jar. Okay. So what is a gratitude jar? You can go on. Just go fast. My daughter is trying to cross from behind me. Okay. What is a gratitude jar? So the exercise of gratitude is what is going to put you in a better place. Because when we are grateful for what we have, we are more open to things that will flow in automatically. Okay. So this is one exercise that you need to do first thing in the morning. Just list 1, 2, 3 things that you're grateful for today. It can be very simple. And in case you're interested in what is gratitude and the exercise, what it's all about, you can reach me or message me. And there's an entire workshop of 30 days which I had done on gratitude, which is available on Telegram. I'll share the link so you all will be able to access it. Okay. So you can write the name of a person you're grateful for and why. You can name a person, your place you're grateful for and why. These are just examples I'm giving you. So the other day I was writing about, it kept raining in Bangalore for almost a month. And in the middle, we suddenly had one day of good sun. Okay. So it was like, that day I wrote, I'm grateful for the warmth, the sunshine after such a long time. That's something to be grateful for. Kapde nahi sookh rahe the. And the clothes were not drying only. So it's grateful for the sun also. So what are you grateful for? Okay. In the morning, when you wake up, just think of and write 3 things that you're grateful for. Let it be a daily practice. Another journaling exercise. You can write down something that is truly very unique, very magical in your life. Okay. So what are the things that I treasure? What I feel is special in my life? A to Z. You can jot down what is important to you. Okay. This is another exercise that you can do. So how do you even practice the journaling? So you need to have a very fixed time. Either it is in the morning when you wake up or it is at night. I usually do it at night or sometimes in between in the afternoon when I'm free after my dental appointments or counseling appointments. I write down at that time if I have to write it in detail. You need to have a very specific book as a journal and you need to keep it in a safe space because you don't want everybody reading your journal. No? Many people are scared that people will read their journal. It's things private, no, what you're going to write. So keep it in a safe space. What are the things you need to start journaling? You'll need a pen and paper initially. If you are someone who is using a creative journal, you can maybe, take out little bit of paper cards, you can take pictures, images, some people put in flowers and stickers and they draw anything. If you're using creativity, please feel free. You can do all of that. It's up to you. You can also do a digital journal. There are a lot of apps. I'll give you a list of apps also, which you can use for a journal. And every time you complete a certain set of journals, okay, so yeah, I've been consistent for a month, reward yourself, or maybe for a week, because journaling for any beginner is a challenge. Sitting continuously and writing, even if it is 10 minutes in a day, becomes a challenge initially. So reward yourself. Our brain usually works on the reward system, not on the punishment system. So reward yourself every time you see that you are improving or doing what you have to do, or you want to do, choose to do, sorry. So reward yourself, small rewards, and track it. Let it be a habit. Let it be there on your habit tracker itself. Am I really doing this today? Have I done this today? Have I done this yesterday? So when you track it, you will realize that you are doing it consistently. Okay. Boundaries, very important. So especially when you're journaling, you need to have a place where you can sit and write without disturbance. You don't need someone breathing down your neck or coming and peeping into your journal. You need to be alone where you can write down, put your thoughts on paper, and the journal needs to be in a safe space where nobody else is going to meddle with it or read it. Okay. So this is very important when you're doing a journaling practice. And what are the different types of journals that you can do? We have seen the mood journal. There is a reading journal. There's a travel journal. There's a prayer journal. There's a habit tracker. There's an art journal, goal journal, project journal, mindfulness journal, dream journal. There is again, fitness journal. Nowadays, from the past 3-4 months, I'm also doing something called as a shadow journal. Gratitude journal, food and sleep journal, personal journey journal. So what is a shadow journal? So shadow work is when normally what happens is we usually are open to accepting what are the positive things about us. But there are parts of us that, we either deny or we suppress or we ignore, or, we totally, kind of hate it. There are parts of us like that. So shadow journaling or shadow work helps you accept those parts of you that you had not accepted so far. So there are, we all have ChatGPT and we all have AI tools, at the tip of our fingers. So you can put in, even in ChatGPT, you can say, give me maybe 30, 40 prompts for shadow journaling. It will give you 30 or 40 prompts. And you can start doing 1 point or 1 question per day. Even if you take 1 question in a day, uncomfortable questions about yourself, and start writing about them, it gives you a lot of clarity on how your mind works and how you go through experiences and how you are changing as a person. Okay, so that helps. What are the apps I can use? So I made a list of apps that you can use for journaling. Day One Journal, Penzu is there, Journey is good, Mood Notes, Microsoft OneNote is there, Google Keep is there, Reflecty is there. So these are good apps that you can use. Also, there are good journals that you can use. Odd Giraffe is there. It was there on Shark Tank. Then Affinity, Factor Notes, Humanhood, Genify. My daughter uses the Thinkle Buds. It's a beautiful journal for kids. Na? It's beautiful. So you can use any of these, whether it is a physical form journal or it's a digital journal. You have a choice nowadays. And journaling is a part of every single psychotherapeutic practice. Sir will confirm. Yes, sir?
Yes.
Okay. So no matter what it is, whether you're talking about CBT, narrative therapy, MBCT, MBSR, DBT, SFBT, ACT, whatever it is, every single practice will ask you to journal. Even trauma-focused therapy, group therapy also, you are be journaling. And we use journaling for various things in each of these modalities. So do we have psychologists or psychotherapists here? Can we have a show of hands? Anyone? How many do we have? Okay, not many, right? Okay. So this is one important tool if you go to a counselor. Okay. So what are the pointers? Why do we even don't do journaling? So the first question usually people tell me is, I don't know what to write. Okay. I don't know only. What, should I write what I'm thinking? Should I write what I'm feeling? Should I write what is happening? What should I even write? Start with one sentence. Start with something. Welcome back. Okay, we had a small disconnection. Okay, we'll share the screen again. First thing is we say, I don't know what to write. So begin small. I don't have time. Very common. I can't sit and write. I'm so busy. I'm super busy. So even if you're writing for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, take out those 10 minutes. It's for your sake. Take out those 5 minutes and write down what you're thinking, what you're feeling, what is happening, and how you can improve. Okay. I'm not good at writing. Nobody's going to judge you on your skills of writing, vocabulary, handwriting. Nobody's judging you on anything. You're writing for your sake. Okay. It's for self expression. It's not for showcase. So you can just write and stop thinking about judgment. Somebody might read my private stuff. You can use tech. Nowadays, we have those lock and key journals where you can keep the lock with you. You also have digital apps where you can journal and you have a password. So nobody is going to access it. See, journaling is not about judgment. It's about self-reflection. It's about self-exploration. It's also not about writing, maybe a novel-like thing or, writing a research paper. No, it's just about feeling well. Okay. So this is what you need to keep in mind when you're journaling. One short activity. We have seen all those things that we can do with a journal. And we had initially written one word on how our day has been. Now write one single word on how you're feeling or what your insight has been from the entire webinar today. Just one word.
Very informative.
Thank you.
Ambagar sir.
Thank you so much.
Good learning and explore.
Thank you.
Insightful. Learning was excellent.
Thank you so much. What was your insight? Someone please write about, there's that eureka moment you have, na? Ki, I should do this. Okay, I'm going to do this now, today. I'm going to start today. Any of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
This
please.
you had explained your shadow journal, which we have to accept the our feelings which we are not yet accepted, so that we have to we will develop our thinking in a broad way.
True.
So that
Wonderful.
from today onwards I will do definitely.
Awesome. Very nice.
Thank you, ma'am.
Very nice.
And your
Anyone else?
subject is so nice, ma'am. Thank you
This
so
is
much for
this is
giving
one
this
topic
insight.
na hardly anybody has any knowledge. It's like common, like people say, no, I love you. Love has become a very common word, but meaning किसी को नहीं पता. Nobody knows what it is. They'll just randomly, distribute it everywhere. It's become like that. Everybody says journal, but what to journal? So here you have options. These are the things that you can do in a journal. Okay. So anyone else had a eureka moment or a, kuch thanka? Something flashed? Yes. Please feel free to share.
Any of the participants?
Okay. So that takes me to the last slide. I absolutely loved doing this with all of you. And any doubts, anything that you would want to share, maybe there's something that you want to express, any questions, any feedbacks, any suggestions, I'm open to all of them. And just as a gift, you can use this link, which is there below, AWS journal. This is the journal that I usually share with all my clients, usually when they come in and they say, I don't know what to journal. Because most of them tell me this. When I ask them to journal, they're like, what should I write? I am lost. I don't know what I should be doing. So this is a general template that I share with them. You can access this. You can take a printout. I think there are around 40 sheets in this. And you can begin your own journaling practice. And as far as my clinic goes, my clinic is in Canara Bank Colony, which is in Bangalore. It's towards Nagarbavi. And these are the services that are provided in my clinic. I know it's a list you'll have to go through, but this is something that I'm very passionate about. And I love doing both dental as well as psychology. So it has been wonderful interacting with all of you. And I hope today's session has helped you. Any insights, anything that anybody would want to share? Everyone has taken down this thing, na? Link? Or sir, maybe we can share the link in the group.
Okay.
Hannah, I'll just share it in the chat so people can access it.
Yeah.
So this is the link to the journal.